And on the subject of bad endings, after 4 years of never quite getting to it, it's time at last for us to spoil Helsing. So, a policewoman named Saras Victoria...
We interrupt this spoiler to bring you an update from Local City, where local sports team is gearing up for its long-awaited grudge match with hated crosstown rival. As viewers may recall, injury-prone star player was recently jostled during practice, leading to fears of an undisclosed upper body injury. Meanwhile, hated crosstown rival's press team has issued a release touting the skill of hated opposing star player and predicting their team's victory. We'll have more as the story develops.
Well, that was weird. I guess we return to our spoiler in progress. A policewoman named Saras Victoria is...
We're back again, ladies and gentlemen, with more coverage of the upcoming grudge match between local sports team and hated crosstown rival. In a shocking development, hated opposing star player has spoken to the media, denigrating the skills of local sports team's hard-working player. Despite the many contributions made by hard-working player, hated opposing star player has called them mediocre and unlikely to obtain points for local sports team. We expect a reply from local sports team soon.
Helsing, a policewoman...
I'm going to break in here with an update on the increasing levels of rivalry between local sports team and hated crosstown rival. Local sports team fired back in the media today, accusing hating opposing star player of being descended from rodents, experiencing an unusual scent, and experiencing sexual attraction to, sorry, Bob? To something we can't say on network television. Local sports team added that they expect their capacity for love and justice to be a deciding factor in tonight's match.
Okay, it's time at last for us to spoil Helsing.
Well, folks, we're here with the post-game from that long-awaited grudge match between local sports team and hated crosstown rival. It was a nail-biter early on as hated crosstown rival scored a significant, though not insurmountable, number of points. The tide turned near the end of the first temporal unit. The team captain, adorable yet skilled player, called a timeout and delivered a passionate speech, recapping all of the valuable lessons learned during a long season of play. Local sports team then rallied for one more push and brought home the victory. After the game, adorable yet skilled player credited the power of friendship and non-gender specific siblinghood with their victory, and suggested that hated crosstown rival stop being such dicks all the time.
Are you done?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because I would hate to, interrupt you and totally wreck your timing or anything. We're good? Great. It is time at last for us to spoil Helsing.
That's the North Star!
It was a trap.
All right. What makes a man? Is it the woman in his arms, just because she has big titties? Or is it the way he fights every day? Nah, it's probably the titties. As much as I hate to admit, Kenshiro goes on his epic quest not just to protect the downtrodden and huddled masses, but because of titties. Yuria's titties, to be precise. Eventually, Kenshiro finds his titties and kicks some ass. But unfortunately, Titties is dead. Leaving him with nothing better to do than committing random acts of kindness like some kind of unstoppable walking death machine of kindness. He then fights a bunch of dudes who actually work for his bigger and arguably more popular brother, Rao. He then fights... Wait, what the hell's this guy's name again? Okay, Bowser... whatever his name is. He's a would-be warlord with serious abandonment issues, who's apparently immune to Ken's head explode foo. His head gets exploded anyway. Then Ken gets a call. Titties has actually been alive all this time, and she wants to see him again. But before he can have his earth-shaking final battle with Kenshiro, Rao finds Titties first and seemingly kills her. But he actually prolonged her life so that she and Kenshiro can spend a few more years together before she succumbs to radiation poisoning. Much like the plot of this show once it became Fist of the North Star 2. True facts.
And now, here is another epic tale of epicness. Soul Calibur. A tale of souls and swords eternally retold can only be spoiled in the style of the Soul Calibur narrator, Tautology Man. The same man who brought us statements such as, "Victory goes to the last one standing. Only the victor may proceed onward. And a warrior desires a sword, and a sword desires another sword." So here goes. A long time ago, it was a long time ago. A man seeking power made twin swords, 2 of them that were powerful, and also he made them. One was the evil blade known as the Soul Edge, responsible for corrupting men's souls and inspiring demonic bloodthirst in the ancient warriors of old. The other was not. The Soul Edge corrupted Siegfried's soul, which as a result was corrupted by the Soul Edge, and the now corrupt soul of Siegfried that was corrupted by the Soul Edge became corrupt by the Soul Edge. Siegfried eventually broke free from the Soul Edge's hold with the power of the holy sword Soul Calibur, but his armor continued living on as the Dark Knight Nightmare, and so he hunts Nightmare in an attempt to right his wrongs and destroy the Soul Edge once and for all. Also, that happened. He must succeed in this quest or else he will fail. That summary of Soul Calibur pretty much sums up Soul Calibur.
What is the value of G?
A tale of songs and sonatas eternally retold. Eternal Sonata. Frédéric Chopin, yes, actually that Chopin, stars in a video game about death, classical music, death, revolution, and death. See, someone at Namco Bandai realized that they hadn't made a video game about classical music in like 2 years, and decided to bring us the magical tale of what goes on in a crazy composer's head while he's dying of tuberculosis. And it turns out that the mind of a dying composer from the 1800s is remarkably in line with modern JRPG stereotypes from the new millennium. There's a shy and demure female lead, a brash but endearing male lead, and his annoying younger brother. There's also the usual quotient of rebels, royalty, and spies for the enemy country of Forte. The government is evil, the Duke has delusions of world rulership, and at one point the characters talk to a tree and do what it says. Mostly, though, Chopin's mind seems to have turned towards the days of his youth. Specifically, his sister, who needs your help to make a magical journey of love and friendship so that she can achieve her ultimate destiny of jumping off a cliff.
Wait a minute. What does that mean?
Don't worry. After the purely imaginary representation of Chopin's tragically dead sister commits auto-defenestration, the game takes a sharp left at the fork and arrives in Exposition Land. 45 minutes of cutscenes ensue, and everything is explained.
What in the world is going on?
Just kidding. Instead of explaining, Chopin monologues about his sister, his death, global warming, recycling, and the Tea Party. This all makes perfect sense, because Namco Bandai is so confident that people are listening to the dub.
Talk it down!
It burns in my brain.
I was saying, Namco Bandai is so confident that the audience is fluent in Japanese that they didn't bother to subtitle the ending.
What the heck are you saying? Can somebody please explain to me what's going on?
Okay, no worries, we can do this. This is a JRPG. And we all know what happens to characters at the end of a magical journey in a JRPG, right? Let's see, it was all a dream. And then you die in the real world and have a tearful reunion in the field of flowers, right? Close enough.